Super Bowl with the New England Patriots, national champion, and the biggest contract ever signed at his position. And that same man, dead and hanging and naked from a bedsheet tied to the cell window, with 316 written on his forehead in black ink and Illuminati references painted on the wall in his own blood, today you're going to know the dark truth of Aaron Hernandez and why he took his own life. Even darker, you're going to know what his fiancée, Shayanna Jenkins, found inside a shoebox hidden in the garage hours before he killed himself. Worse still, you're going to know the real connection between Aaron Hernandez and Odin Lloyd, the boyfriend of Shayanna's sister, and why Odin ended up with 5 bullets in his chest inside a park. And the most important part of the whole story. You're going to know what Boston University found inside Aaron Hernandez's brain 5 months after his death, a finding that Dr. Ann McKee described as the most severe ever seen. Today, you're going to know everything that the NFL has never told you in depth about this man. But before all of that, you have to know how Aaron Hernandez got there. Bristol, Connecticut, a working-class town of 60,000 people, 30 miles southwest of Hartford. Corporate headquarters of ESPN, the biggest sports network on the planet. And a blue-collar street called Greystone Avenue where a family, half Puerto Rican and half Italian, was raising 2 boys with the obsession of turning them into professional athletes. That street is where the man who 27 years later would show up hanging inside a maximum security cell in Massachusetts grew up. The father's name was Dennis Hernandez, Puerto Rican, son of Bienvenido and Josephine Garcia Hernandez, who emigrated to Bristol in the late 1940s. Dennis was born in Bristol in the year 1956. He graduated from Bristol Central High School with a football scholarship to the University of Connecticut in the year 1975. The American guys in the locker room called him the King. 6 feet, 1 inch tall, 220 pounds, ran the 40 in 4.8 seconds, and he arrived at UConn as one of the top football prospects in the Ivy League. But, in his sophomore year, in a game against the University of Rhode Island, Dennis took a hit to the right knee that tore his meniscus. He was never the same again. He finished the season. He graduated. And he went back to Bristol to accept the only job a Puerto Rican with no technical degree could get inside the public school system of the town in the year 79. Janitor at Bristol Eastern High School, $7.50 an hour. Have you ever wondered what a 23-year-old Puerto Rican man carries when he goes back to the working-class town of his parents with a broken college scholarship, a destroyed knee, and a janitor job inside the same public school where he had dreamed of watching his future sons win state championships? 10 things he carries, all inside his chest. The shame of coming back, defeated. The weight of the Hernandez name in front of the Puerto Rican community at St. Anthony Catholic Church. The fear of never being able to get his family out of the blue-collar Greystone neighborhood. The rage of a young body broken before its time. And the sick obsession that his future sons, especially the youngest boy, were going to get where he never got, to the NFL. Dennis Hernandez carried all 10 for the next 27 straight years. Until January 6th of the year 2006. Lock in that date. We'll come back. Terry Valentine was 18 years old when she met Dennis Hernandez inside the Bristol Central High School cafeteria. Italian by heritage. 5 feet 4 inches. Green eyes. Dennis and Terry got married on October 25th of the year 1986 inside St. Anthony Catholic Church. The whole Puerto Rican community of the town sat down inside the wooden pews. Terry's Italian parents sat in the front row without exchanging a single word with the Garcia Hernandez family during the entire ceremony. The union of 2 families of the town that never fully accepted each other. Dennis Jr., born July 27th of 1987, given the nickname DJ from the crib. Aaron Joseph Hernandez, born November 6th of 1989. Second son, second boy. And the child on whom Dennis the King Hernandez placed, from minute 1, the weight of the 10 things he had been carrying inside his own chest. Aaron was the chosen one. The Hernandez family lived inside a 2-story house with white aluminum siding at number 42 Greystone Avenue. and a backyard of 50 square yards where Dennis the King had built, with his own hands, 2 youth-size football goalposts. 2 goalposts, one for each son. Distance between them, 10 yards. DJ and Aaron spent the next 10 years of childhood training football inside that backyard every afternoon after public school, from 4 to 7. No exceptions. Rain, snow, 20 degrees Fahrenheit below zero. Dennis Hernandez would come home from his janitor shift at Bristol Eastern High School at 4 o'clock sharp with a red plastic whistle hanging around his neck and a football drill notebook handwritten in the back pocket of his pants. And that ritual had a brutal side that DJ Hernandez told the Boston Globe inside an interview from October of the year 2018, 12 years after the father's death. Dennis Hernandez beat his sons. With an open hand, with a closed hand, with the whistle, with the rolled-up notebook. When they missed a pass, when they dropped a ball, when they didn't run the 10 yards inside the time Dennis had set with a stopwatch. Dennis Hernandez beat Terry Valentine too. Terry kicked Dennis out of the Greystone Avenue house 3 separate times between the years 1991 and 1996. Divorce in the year 91, second marriage in the year 96, and financial bankruptcy filed inside the Hartford County Courthouse in the year 99 for $220,000 of accumulated debt. Aaron was 10 years old when the Hernandez family filed for bankruptcy. Aaron started playing organized football inside the Bristol Youth Football League at 7 years old. Aaron was a natural left-hander, but Dennis, inside the backyard, forced him to switch dominant hand at 7 years old. He told him that tight ends in the NFL had to catch with the right hand to run with the left hand, protecting the ball against the body. And he forced him to throw 5,000 passes with his right hand, 10 passes a day for 500 straight days. 5,000 passes, 10 a day, 500 days. Dennis the King Hernandez told DJ at 9 years old that he was going to be the brain, and that Aaron, the youngest, was going to be the body. And that together they were going to bring the Hernandez name to the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. That was the family contract. The weight that Dennis the King placed on his 2 boys inside the basement of the Greystone Avenue house. On January 6th of the year 2006, Aaron Hernandez was 16 years old. Aaron was already the best high school tight end prospect in the state of Connecticut. He had already broken the state record for receiving yards in a single season with 1,807 yards. He had already received his first official recruiting letter from the University of Florida signed by Urban Meyer, and he already had his father's name, The King, tattooed on his right bicep in black Gothic letters. That morning of January 6th, a Friday, Dennis Hernandez got up at 6:15, kissed Terry goodbye inside the kitchen, and headed to Bristol Hospital to undergo a routine inguinal hernia surgery. 40-minute operation, expected discharge at 4 in the afternoon. Dennis Hernandez never walked out of Bristol Hospital. Post-operative complications, pulmonary embolism, cardiorespiratory arrest, at 11:27 in the morning, failed resuscitation for 27 straight minutes, and official declaration of death at 11:54 in the morning of January 6th of the year 2006, 49 years old. Aaron was sitting inside the biology classroom at Bristol Central High School when the secretary walked in calling his name over the intercom. He walked down to the main office. He saw DJ sitting on the waiting room couch with red eyes, and he knew, without anyone saying a single word to him, that the King had just died. Aaron Hernandez collapsed onto the floor of the second-floor hallway at 12:15 in the afternoon. And when the school counselor picked him up off the floor, Aaron said 3 words in a low voice that DJ Hernandez told the Boston Globe 12 years later. He said it was all over. Lock in that moment. Because what Aaron Hernandez did during the next 10 years of his life, from the floor of the second-floor hallway at Bristol Central High School in January of 2006 to the floor of cell number 57 at Sousa Baranovsky Correctional Center in the early hours of April 19th of 2017 was a desperate attempt by a 16-year-old Puerto Rican kid to rebuild inside himself a dead father who had taken a promise to the grave. The promise of making it to the NFL. The promise of taking the Hernandez name to the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. And the promise that Aaron, the chosen one, the youngest, the left-hander forced to throw with his right hand, was going to carry for the next 27 years of life on this planet the weight of the 10 things Dennis the King Hernandez had been keeping inside his own chest since the broken knee at Rhode Island in the year 75. 10 things. One single son. 27 years. And that weight, carried by a teenager who had just lost the only man who had taught him how to throw a football over his right shoulder, is the exact reason why Aaron Hernandez, 11 years later, in the early hours of April 19th of 2017, was going to tie a white bedsheet around his neck inside cell number 57 of a maximum security prison in Massachusetts. Because Aaron Hernandez, when he collapsed onto the floor of that hallway at Bristol Central High School at 12:15 in the afternoon of January 6th of 2006, did not lose his father. He lost the only man on this earth who had justified his existence. And from that day forward, Aaron Hernandez started searching inside everything that happened to him next for a way to replace that justification with something, with anything, with drugs, with money, with violence, with Bristol street friends, with multi-million-dollar contracts, with Super Bowl rings, with $1.3 million houses, with guns stashed under the mattress, with 24-hour bodyguards, with everything. And nothing Aaron Hernandez found during the next 10 years of his life managed to fill the emptiness that Dennis the King Hernandez had taken to the grave inside Bristol Hospital that morning of January 6th of 2006. Nothing. And in the early hours of April 19th of 2017, inside cell number 57 at Sousa Baranowski, Aaron Hernandez made the only decision he had left to be close again to the only man who had ever justified him. Go find him. Aaron Hernandez signed with the University of Florida on February 27th of the year 2007, 4 months after his father's death. 17 years old, one of the top-rated tight end recruits in the country. Inside the Florida Gators locker room, Aaron played with 2 teammates who would become his blood brothers. Tim Tebow, the franchise quarterback, winner of the 2007 Heisman Trophy, and Mike Pouncey, African-American offensive guard from Lakeland, Florida. And Mike Pouncey was the man who gave Aaron the nickname that he was going to carry for the next 10 years inside American football. Chico, in Spanish, with the Puerto Rican accent that Aaron carried on his right bicep with the Gothic tattoo of the King, the only Puerto Rican on the Florida Gators. On January 8th of the year 2009, inside Dolphin Stadium in Miami Gardens, the Florida Gators won the National College Football Championship against the University of Oklahoma, 24-14. Aaron Hernandez caught 5 passes for 57 yards inside the final. He was named winner of the John Mackey Award as best tight end in college football that year. But behind that rise, inside the apartment Aaron shared with Mike Pouncey in Gainesville, the first great silent fall was already cooking weed every single day. And in the year 2008, according to the New York Times, Aaron started using PCP, the hallucinogenic drug known in the United States as angel dust, 10 times stronger than weed. Have you ever wondered what a 17-year-old Puerto Rican kid carries when he has just buried his father, when he arrives at a southern university where the only other Latino on the team calls him Chico, and when he starts using PCP while playing in front of 75,000 people every Saturday night? 10 things he carries. The emptiness of the dead father, the rage against the mother, the fear that Florida would find out something he had been hiding since 7th grade at Bristol Central High School, the paranoia, and the silent certainty that the only person on this earth who could have understood him had been dead since a surgery room at Bristol Hospital. On April 22nd of the year 2010, inside Radio City Music Hall in Manhattan, Commissioner Roger Goodell announced inside the 4th round of the NFL draft pick, number 113, the New England Patriots, Aaron Hernandez. 4th round, way below the projections that had placed him inside the 1st round, because NFL scouts had identified red flags, positive marijuana tests inside 2 official NCAA screenings, documented associations with individuals linked to South Florida gangs, erratic behavior inside interviews with scouts from at least 7 AFC teams, and internal reports about PCP use. NFL scouts knew everything, everyone except one, Bill Belichick. The head coach of the New England Patriots selected Aaron with pick 113 despite all the red flags, and he signed him to a 4-year rookie contract worth $1,700,000. Lock in the name Bill Belichick. Aaron's first season with the Patriots was an offensive explosion. 45 receptions, 563 yards, 6 touchdowns, and chemistry with Tom Brady that no AFC East defensive coordinator managed to shut down. Aaron was the number 2 tight end on the team. The number 1 was Rob Gronkowski, same 2010 draft class, second-round pick, number 42, and the best white tight end in the history of the NFL since Tony Gonzalez. Gronk and Chico, the 2 most lethal tight ends in the NFL between the years 2010 and 2013. The Patriots reached Super Bowl 46 inside Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis on February 5th of the year 2012 against the New York Giants of Eli Manning. They lost 21-17 in the final 57 seconds of the game, and Aaron Hernandez, out on the turf, caught 8 passes for 67 yards and a touchdown in the final. Aaron had just turned 22 years old. On August 27th of the year 2012, Aaron Hernandez signed a 5-year, $40 million contract extension with the New England Patriots. Signing bonus, $12.5 million. The most expensive contract ever signed by a tight end in the history of the NFL up to that point. Aaron signed the contract in front of Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick, and his fiancée since 17 years old, Shayanna Jenkins, who he had started dating during senior year at Bristol Central High School. Aaron, Shayanna, and their daughter, Avielle Janelle Jenkins Hernandez, born on November 6th of the year 2012, moved into a $1.3 million house inside the Westwood Estates neighborhood in North Attleboro, Massachusetts, in October of the year 2012, 10 miles from Gillette Stadium training facility. 4 stories, 6 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, heated pool, and a 3-car garage where Aaron kept his black Hummer H2, his white Chevrolet Suburban, and a gray Toyota 4Runner that he used to drive at night without being recognized. 3 cars, 1 garage, and a quiet space at the back of the garage, a space behind the water heater, a space of 7 feet by 4 feet, a space that Aaron Hernandez used, according to what Shayanna Jenkins herself declared during the murder trial in the year 2015, to keep personal belongings that he had explicitly forbidden her to touch. And behind the water heater, inside that quiet 7 by 4 foot space in the garage of the $1.3 million house in Westwood Estates, there was a Nike Air Jordan shoebox, red and black. 1 shoebox. Aaron Hernandez had forbidden Shayanna Jenkins during the 5 full years they lived together inside that house from opening that shoebox. 5 years. Without opening it, without touching it, without mentioning it. And in the early hours of April 18th of the year 2017, 27 hours before Aaron Hernandez's suicide inside cell 57 at Sousa Baranowski, Shayanna Jenkins walked down to the Westwood Estates garage, stepped behind the water heater, and opened for the first time the red and black Nike Air Jordan shoebox. What Shayanna Jenkins found inside that shoebox that morning of April 18th of 2017 is the reason why Aaron Hernandez, 27 hours later, inside cell 57 of a maximum security prison in Massachusetts, made the decision to tie a white bedsheet around his neck and hang himself. Inside that shoebox, there were 5 things. The first thing was a stack of handwritten letters in blue ink on notebook paper. 47 letters exactly, all signed with the same name in the bottom right corner, Dennis Sansusi, Aaron's teammate at Bristol Central High School from 7th grade to senior year, the starting quarterback of the team, and the man who, inside the 2020 Netflix documentary Killer Inside, would publicly declare that he had maintained a hidden sexual relationship with Aaron Hernandez from the age of 12. 47 love letters, handwritten, signed by Dennis Sansusi. Between the years 2002 and 2007, the second thing was a stack of photographs printed on glossy photo paper. 10 photographs exactly, all inside hotel rooms, all with Aaron Hernandez naked or half naked, and all with different young men that Shayanna Jenkins had never heard about during her 5 years of living with Aaron. 10 photographs, 10 different men, all dated between the years 2010 and 2016. The third thing was a black leather-covered planner with the New England Patriots logo engraved in the top right corner. Inside the planner there were 27 names handwritten in the same blue ink as the Sans Souci letters, 27 male names, 27 phone numbers, and next to each name, a date, a hotel, and a city in the United States. 27 names, 27 meetings, documented by Aaron Hernandez in his own handwriting. The fourth thing was a letter sealed with red wax addressed to Dennis Hernandez, his dead father. Handwritten by Aaron. No date, no return address. Just 5 words written on the envelope in the same black Gothic lettering as the tattoo on his right bicep. "Forgive me, Dad. I'm gay." And the fifth thing inside the red and black Nike Air Jordan shoebox from the Westwood Estates garage was what Shayanna Jenkins, the official fiancée of Aaron Hernandez for the last 10 straight years, had never seen inside her own home. A Colt Python revolver, .357 Magnum caliber, with 4 rounds inside the cylinder. The same weapon that the North Attleboro Police Department had been searching for inside the Westwood Estates house since June 17th of the year 2013. The same weapon used to kill Odin Lloyd, the boyfriend of Shayanna Jenkins' younger sister, with 5 bullets inside an industrial park in North Attleboro at 3:23 in the morning of June 17th of 2013. 5 things inside a shoebox. 47 letters, 10 photographs, 27 names, 1 sealed letter to a dead father, and the murder weapon from the killing of Odin Lloyd. And with those 5 things, Shayanna Jenkins understood, in the early hours of April 18th of 2017, inside the garage of the house she had shared with Aaron for the last 5 years, 2 things no one had ever explained to her. She understood why Aaron Hernandez killed Odin Lloyd, and she understood why her fiancé, the father of her daughter Avielle, the man she had lived with for the last 10 straight years, had been hiding inside that shoebox, the evidence of a parallel life she had never imagined. Shayanna Jenkins walked out of the Westwood Estates garage at 4:47 in the morning of April 18th of the year 2017, with the 5 things from the shoebox inside a white plastic bag, with the Colt Python .357 revolver inside another bag, and with her hands shaking on the steering wheel of the white BMW X5 that Aaron had given her the day Avielle was born. She drove 27 miles south on Interstate 95 to Sousa Baranowski Correctional Center in Shirley, Massachusetts. And at 7:15 in the morning of April 18th of 2017, exactly 27 hours before Aaron Hernandez would hang himself inside cell 57, Shayanna Jenkins walked into the visitors center of the maximum security prison, sat down inside cubicle number 10 of the South Block, waited for them to bring Aaron in handcuffs down the central corridor, and when he sat down on the other side of the glass, she did something no American reporter has ever published in full to this day. She pulled one of the 47 Dennis Sans Souci letters out of the white plastic bag. She pressed it against the glass, and she waited for Aaron Hernandez to look at it. What happened inside cubicle number 10 of the Visitors Center at Sousa Baranowski Correctional Center at 7:15 in the morning of April 18th of 2017 is the exact reason why 27 hours later, Aaron Hernandez wrote John 3:16 on his own forehead in black ink. Let's go to that morning. Shayanna Jenkins walked into cubicle number 10 of the Visitors Center at Sousa Baranowski Correctional Center at 7:15 in the morning of April 18th of 2017, with the Dennis Sans Souci letter pressed against the glass from her side. Aaron Hernandez walked into the cubicle on the other side of the glass in handcuffs, led by 2 guards. He saw Shayanna. He saw the letter pressed against the glass. He recognized Sans Souci's handwriting. And Aaron Hernandez did not say a single word during the entire 55 minutes the visit lasted. 55 minutes? Staring at the letter? That same afternoon, Aaron Hernandez requested an emergency phone call with his attorney, Jose Baez. The call lasted 40 minutes. What Aaron Hernandez confessed to Jose Baez inside that 40-minute phone call from the South Block at Sousa Baranovsky. According to what Baez himself wrote inside his book, Unnecessary Roughness, published in the year 2018, was the exact reason why Aaron Hernandez, 26 hours and 47 minutes later, hanged himself inside cell 57. Aaron confessed to Baez the full truth about the murder of Odin Lloyd. And to understand that truth, we have to go back 5 years on the timeline, to the early hours of July 16th of the year 2012, inside downtown Boston, Massachusetts. The night of July 15th of the year 2012, Aaron Hernandez left Westwood Estates inside his gray Toyota 4Runner, headed to Cure Lounge nightclub in downtown Boston. White t-shirt. At 2:10 in the morning of July 16th, inside the dance floor at Cure Lounge, a 29-year-old Cape Verdean immigrant named Daniel D'Abreu, a truck driver at the Port of Boston, accidentally bumped into Aaron and spilled a vodka cranberry all over the player's white t-shirt. Daniel D'Abreu apologized. Aaron Hernandez did not say a word. He turned around, and he walked out of Cure Lounge 10 minutes later. 45 minutes later, at 3:15 in the morning, when Daniel D'Abreu and his friend Safiro Furtado, another Cape Verdean, 28 years old, walked out of the club and got inside a silver BMW parked on Shawmut Avenue. A silver SUV pulled up next to the BMW. From the driver's seat of the SUV, someone rolled down the window, pulled out a 9mm pistol, and unloaded 5 straight shots into the BMW. Daniel D'Abreu died instantly. 5 bullets in the chest. Safiro Furtado died inside Boston Medical Center 2 hours and 10 minutes later. The silver SUV disappeared down Washington Street before Boston police arrived at the scene, and that silver SUV, according to the official investigation of the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office published in the year 2014, was the white Chevrolet Suburban Aaron Hernandez had bought 6 months earlier with part of his $40 million signing bonus. Aaron Hernandez killed Daniel D'Abreu and Safiro Furtado in the early hours of July 16th of 2012 over a spilled drink on a white t-shirt. Over a spilled drink. Have you ever wondered what a 22-year-old NFL player carries, with a $40 million contract signed 11 months earlier, with a newborn daughter sleeping inside a $1.3 million house, and with the blood of 2 Cape Verdean immigrants staining the back seat of his white Chevrolet Suburban at 4 in the morning on a Sunday in July? 10 things he carries, all inside his chest. Panic, rage against himself, paranoia, the silent certainty that he just threw away the dead father's dream, and the growing weight of a third secret that Aaron Hernandez had been carrying since 7th grade at Bristol Central High School. Aaron carried the 10 for the next 11 months, until June 9th of the year 2013. The day Odin Lloyd sent Aaron Hernandez a text message that was going to kill him. Odin Lloyd was 27 years old, semi-pro player for the Boston Bandits. He worked as a landscaping delivery guy during the day. He lived in Dorchester, Boston. And he had been dating Shayanna Jenkins, Shayanna's younger sister, and Aaron's future sister-in-law for 2 years. Aaron and Odin were brothers-in-law by association. They went out to Boston nightclubs together 3 or 4 times a month, and they shared a secret that Odin had accidentally uncovered on Aaron on Saturday, June 8th of 2013 inside the bathroom of a Providence, Rhode Island club. Saturday, June 8th of 2013, Aaron and Odin went out together to a Providence nightclub called Rumor. At 1:10 in the morning of Sunday, June 9th, Odin walked into the men's bathroom and found Aaron inside one of the private stalls, kissing another young man that Odin did not know. Odin stood at the bathroom door for 10 straight seconds. Aaron saw him. That same night, at 3:45 in the morning, inside the back seat of the Toyota 4Runner while Odin was driving back to Boston, Aaron asked him 2 questions. He asked him if he was going to say anything to Shayanna, and he asked him if he knew anything about what had happened inside that silver BMW on Shawmut Avenue in the early hours of July 16th of the year 2012. Odin Lloyd answered both questions with the same 5-word sentence. He said he was going to think about it. Aaron Hernandez heard those 5 words inside the back seat of his grey Toyota 4Runner at 3:47 in the morning of Sunday, June 9th of the year 2013. And 8 days later, in the early hours of Monday, June 17th of the year 2013, Aaron picked up Odin from the Dorchester house inside the Toyota 4Runner. He drove into an empty industrial park on John L. Deach Street in North Attleboro, less than a mile from the Westwood Estates house. And at 3:23 in the morning, Aaron pulled a .357 caliber Magnum Colt Python revolver out of the compartment under the driver's seat and fired 5 shots into his brother-in-law's chest. 5 shots. 3 in the chest, 1 in the neck, 1 in the right jaw. Odin Lloyd died instantly. Aaron pulled the body out of the passenger seat, dragged it 10 yards to an empty lot next to a drainage ditch, and left it face down with the arms stretched forward, like a cross. Odin Lloyd died because he knew the 2 things Aaron Hernandez had been hiding for the last 11 months. The truth about the double homicide in Boston, and the truth about the repressed sexuality Aaron had been carrying since 7th grade at Bristol Central High School. 2 secrets. 1 brother-in-law. 5 shots. Odin Lloyd's body was discovered at 5:30 in the afternoon by a woman jogging inside the industrial park. North Attleboro police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later. And at 6:15 in the afternoon of the same day, detectives established the first connection to the Westwood Estates house. Aaron Hernandez was arrested inside his front yard at Westwood Estates at 9:15 in the morning of Wednesday, June 26th of the year 2013, with his hands cuffed behind his back. And with Shayanna Jenkins watching from the front porch holding 7-month-old Avielle in her arms, the New England Patriots released the official termination statement of Aaron Hernandez at 10:47 in the morning of that same day, 1 hour and 32 minutes after the arrest. The fastest release of a player with a multi-million-dollar contract in the modern history of the NFL. Robert Kraft said he felt betrayed. Bill Belichick said it was a sad day. And Tom Brady never publicly said the name Aaron Hernandez inside an interview with any American sports outlet for the next 10 straight years. Aaron Hernandez was convicted of first-degree murder on April 15th of the year 2015 inside Bristol County Superior Court in Fall River, Massachusetts. Life in prison without the possibility of parole. Sousa Baranowski Correctional Center, Shirley, Massachusetts. Cell 57 of the South Block. And, exactly 2 years later, on April 14th of the year 2017, a jury of the Suffolk County Superior Court in Boston acquitted Aaron Hernandez of the double murder of Daniel de Abreu and Safiro Furtado inside Cure Lounge from the year 2012. 5 days after the acquittal, Aaron Hernandez was dead. In the early hours of Wednesday, April 19th of the year 2017, at 3:05 in the morning, Officer Gerard Breaux of the Massachusetts Department of Correction found Aaron Hernandez hanging naked inside Cell 57 of the South Block at Sousa Baranowski Correctional Center, a white bedsheet tied to the cell window, with the other end tied around his neck. Cardboard blocking the door from the inside to keep the guards from getting in to save him. Illuminati references written on the wall in ink and in his own blood. A Bible open on top of the toilet at chapter 3 of the Gospel of John. 3 suicide notes handwritten on top of the desk. 1 addressed to Jose Baez, 1 addressed to Shayanna Jenkins, and 1 addressed to Avielle Jenkins Hernandez, his 4-year-old daughter, and John 3:16 written in black ink on his own forehead. Aaron Hernandez was officially declared dead inside UMass Memorial Medical Center, Leominster, at 4:07 in the morning of April 19th of 2017, 27 years, 2 months, 13 days. And that same afternoon, 6 hours after the official declaration of death, the New England Patriots traveled from Foxborough to Washington, D.C. to visit the White House of President Donald Trump and celebrate the victory of Super Bowl 51. Bill Belichick attended, Tom Brady did not. And Robert Kraft handed Trump the first official Patriots jersey with the president's name on the back. At no point during that ceremony, inside the South Lawn of the White House, did Belichick, Kraft, or any accredited American reporter say the name Aaron Hernandez one single time, the same day. Aaron Hernandez's brain was shipped inside a refrigerated box to the Boston University Chronic Traumatic Encephalopathy Center. It was analyzed for the next 5 months by a team of neuropathologists led by Dr. Anne McKee. Dr. McKee announced the results on September 21st of the year 2017. Aaron Hernandez had chronic traumatic encephalopathy stage 3 of 4, CTE stage 3, the same grade as Junior Seau, with severe damage inside the frontal lobes, the amygdala, and the hippocampus. And Dr. Anne McKee said 5 exact words. She said it was the most severe. In 468 brains analyzed to that date by the Boston University CTE Center, they had never seen a brain that destroyed inside a person that young. The damage was typical of a person 46 years old or older, and Aaron Hernandez had died at 27. A brain of a 46-year-old, inside the body of a 27-year-old kid. CTE stage 3, brain of 46, body of 27. Aaron Hernandez started playing organized football inside the Bristol Youth Football League at 7 years old. 20 years of blows to the head. Dennis, the King Hernandez, watching the training sessions from the backyard on Greystone Avenue with the red plastic whistle hanging around his neck, never found out what those 20 years of blows were going to do to the brain of his youngest son. That is Aaron Joseph Hernandez, the son of the Puerto Rican janitor at Bristol Eastern High School, the only Puerto Rican in the Florida Gators locker room, the 2009 college national champion, Tom Brady's teammate inside Super Bowl 46, the player with the most expensive contract ever signed by a tight end in the history of the NFL, $40 million. And the man who hanged himself naked inside cell 57 of Sousa Baranowski Correctional Center at 3:05 in the morning of April 19th of the year 2017, with John 3:16 written on his forehead in black ink. 27 years. 2 secrets. A brain of a 46-year-old. Aaron Hernandez fulfilled the dream of the king all the way to Super Bowl 46. And after that, with 2 secrets burning inside his chest and with a brain of a 46-year-old inside a body of 27, he made the only decision he had left to be close again to the only man who had ever justified him on this earth. He tied a white bedsheet around his neck, and he went to find him. If this story moved something inside you, if you felt the weight of a Puerto Rican father forcing his left-handed son to throw with his right hand inside the backyard of a working-class house in Connecticut, if you thought about a 16-year-old boy carrying a secret he could not tell anyone inside the Bristol Central High School locker room, if you remembered a fiancée opening a shoebox behind a water heater 27 hours before her man would hang himself, subscribe to Fallen Stars right now. And leave us in the comments the name of another American icon whose real story no one has told yet. See you in the next video. And if you or someone close to you is going through an emotional crisis, call the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline for free at 988. Every day, anytime. You are never alone.